Okay. Wait. This is cool lighting. So let's get right into it. I have snake hair today. My sister did 7 braids in my hair. Last time I was 5. Next time will be 9, then 11, then 13, then 15, then 17, then 20, 19, then 21. Just kidding. That'd be awesome. Honestly, I will definitely challenge her to do like 20 in my hair one of these days. It took an hour to do 7, so y'all, that would take a while. It'd probably take like 3 or 4 hours to do 20. It takes a lot of time to do braids, guys. Anyway, we don't need to know about that. We're here for Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers. Can't see it, but her name is right here. We don't do that here. Yeah, I don't even know. Okay, I think we're on chapter 28. I didn't even know. Okay. Oh no, we're on chapter 29. Jace's perspective. Y'all, I can't get over this. Should I like put on a hood? That's this hood for y'all. Woohoo. Okay. Let's get right into it. Be like totally Jace vibes. Gangsta. What if you wore like chains? Can you guys picture him wearing chains? Like gold chains? Just be like, okay. We don't need any more of this. This is boring. Chapter 29. Jason's perspective. Y'all need to be able to hear me more. Starts on page 251. Y'all there? Alrighty then. Let's get right into it. That just switched accents quite a bit right there. A sigh of relief wishes out of me as I hear the RV door open. Allie's back. I knew she'd be safe spending the night over with Killer, but that didn't stop me from worrying all night about her getting caught. I thought that fear would lessen the further we got from Los Angeles, but instead it's just gotten stronger as she and I have grown closer. Aww. Allie strides into the living area, smiling despite the tired bags under her eyes. It's amazing to see her like that, so happy and confident. It's only been a week since she left the infernal pit of a home, but being away from it has already changed her. I'm pretty sure it's been like 2 weeks. If you think about it, he said like a week a few days ago, and now he's still saying a week. I think it's been at least 2 weeks. Just saying, guys. I think so. No one saw you? I asked, gesturing out the window. She shakes her head. Nope. The lot is pretty much empty, and I was really careful sneaking back over here. I still think that's risky. Well, I'm saying that, not them. She sits next to me on the couch and wraps her arms around me, letting her head rest against my shoulder. I set down my guitar, which I had been absently strumming while I waited for her to return. I made a few mistakes at the last show, which is totally unlike me. Usually I'm spot on with every note, but having Allie around has infringed me on my practice time. Not that I'm complaining, of course, although Tony did. He's convinced something serious is distracting me, and if I'm going to keep him from investigating, I need to stop giving him reasons to worry. That means extra practice and putting on a flawless show next time. I smooth Allie's hair, which is slightly ruffled from her sleepover. Even like this, it looks gorgeous. It's a perfect shade of auburn, half red and half brown. I guess it kind of fits her sometimes fury and sometimes sweet personality. Is he saying that angry people have red hair and brown people have sweet personalities? Just kidding. I'm just saying. Good morning, she murmurs. Her warm breath seeps through my cotton t-shirt and brushes against the skin of my shoulder. I shiver, but try to conceal it by wrapping my arms around her. A small smirk lifts the corner of her lips, telling me that I'm not very good at hiding how much her touch messes with me. I kiss her forehead and sign back. Good morning. And it definitely is. Now that she's with me and safe, I pull her into my lap and rest my cheek on top of her head, and we stay that way for a long time. I'm not sure exactly how long, because having Allie this close does a weird time warp thing to me. It's like time stops and all that matters is this brave, feisty, beautiful girl in my arms. I kiss along the side of her jaw, stopping every once in a while to teasingly brush my lips against her mouth. She closes her eyes and tilts her head back, capturing me in a deep kiss. Then she slowly pulls away and picks up my electric guitar. I'd left it leaning against the couch. My electric guitar had left leaning against the couch. She runs her hand along the smooth varnish, pausing to trace the small scratches that marred after years of use. Usually I hate it when other people touch my guitar, but Allie's grasp on the instrument is delicate and reverent, and I don't mind it at all. Taylor has a picture in his obby of you guys when you first started the band, she says. She softly strums a simple chord. You holding the same guitar. This is the first one I ever owned, I sign. It's still my favorite. You use a different one when you perform, she notes. Yeah. I reach over and run my hand along the neck of the guitar. It's my favorite, but the sound quality is honestly not that great. Honestly not that great. So I have to use a more professional one for performances. She nods and carefully picks out a couple strings, and I smile as I recognize the notes she wrote to go along with the lyrics in my notebook. Sounds a lot better with your adjustments, I sign. I've been playing what you wrote all morning. She blushes a little at that, but a smile upturns her lips. So do you think after all these years of working on it, your song might actually turn out perfect? No, I sigh, but if you help me write it, I think our song might turn out perfect. Allie's smile grows, but she looks up from the guitar. Then she looks up from the guitar and stares me right in the eye. Her lips tighten into a thoughtful expression, and she looks just as intense as she was when we had that serious discussion yesterday. I shift back a little, unsure where this conversation is going. I'll make you a deal, she signs. You promise to help me finish the song, and then I'll kiss you again? She scoffs at my suggestion. Not quite. You answer one question of mine totally truthfully, and then I'll help you with the song. That's not fair. Welcome to life. I don't like it when she talks like that, all bitter and realistic. Allie's the type of girl who deserves to live in a fairy tale world full of happily ever afters. If you think about it, don't all of us deserve to live in that world? You just have to get to know people before you can really judge them. And even then you can't judge them, you have to righteously judge them. I don't know. Always be kind. Um, the fact that she never got that instead she's been struggling through the infernal pit, makes my chest ache. I peck her on the cheek and sign, fine, it's a deal. She smirks triumphantly, but the expression quickly melts into a hesitant frown. She brushes her fingertips along my jaw, then drops her hand and trails it along the scar on my chest. Even though the shirt separates our skin, a trail of heat follows her fingertips. Tell me about your family, she says. I pull away from her, but she keeps her gaze steadily on mine. Her hazel eyes concerned and curious. I swallow hard and hesitantly sign. That's not a question. Then she signs. Must we go into specifics? We made a deal. I'm supposed to answer a question. Fine. She rolls her eyes and asks, would you please tell me about your family? No. She cocks her head a little. What? I said no, I signed, switching back to ASL to make sure she gets the message. There, I answered. Her lips purse into a tight little frown. That's not fair. I pick her up off my lap, positioning her next to me on the couch. Anxiety crawls over my skin, and I don't want to be near anyone, not even Allie. I stand up and repeat what she signed before. Welcome to life. I head into the kitchen, needing some ice water to cool me down. My blood feels like it's suddenly boiling, and I'm breathing too fast, and I need to escape these feelings. Scratch that, I need to escape the past. Talking about it, talking about it is not going well. As I reach for a glass in the cupboard, a small hand snatches mine out of the air. Allie turns me around to face her, and as I stare down, I'm once again amazed at how such a tiny girl can have so much power over me. Allie pulls me close to her until there's just enough room between us for our hands to sign. It's okay, she signs. I don't care what you tell me. I'll be okay with it. She smiles up at me softly, and I'm pretty sure this is the moment where I'm supposed to break down and admit every horrific do thing, so I just step away from her and set it to drop from the shelf. I grab some ice out of the freezer, and I'm about to drop it into the cup when Allie says, I told you about my past, now you tell me about yours. The ice starts to freeze in my hand, but I just tighten my grip on it, taking in the pain. It's so familiar that it's almost comforting. It doesn't work that way, Allie, I mutter, turning my head just enough for her to read my lips. Then how does it work? The pain becomes too much, so I let the ice cubes fall one by one, watching them hit the bottom before I reply. It works like this. You stop asking questions about my life and leave me the heck alone. There's a long pause, and then I feel her arms wrap around my waist, and her warm breath whispers in my ear. But I don't want to leave, and I don't think you want to be alone. Not really. I'm pretty sure her arms are the only thing keeping me standing. I turn around and grab her hand, firmly entwining our fingers, brushing a strand of hair from her face. I lean close to her and say, my story isn't pretty, Allie. She stares up at me, her eyes open wide, asking me to tell her more. I groan and let my head fall back. Memories clog my brain, and I just want to clap somewhere and close my eyes to block it all out. I dump my cup in the sink and lead Allie to my bedroom. I tug her onto the bed and she lies down, letting me wrap her in my arms and press close to her. Her sweet scent calms me, and I breathe in deeply, reminding myself that even if I don't have her forever, I have her now. We stay there for a long moment, Wrapped in each other's arms. I soak in her presence. I've never felt this close to someone. Her warm breath heats my neck, and gradually they slow until I'm sure she'll fall asleep. But her eyes stay open and locked on mine, still waiting for an answer to a question I never discuss. I untangle my hands from hers and slowly sign. My dad killed my mom when I was 10. I wait for her to recoil and run away, but all she does is reach up and brush her fingertips against my cheek. Her touch is firmer than usual, like she's trying to rush the memory straight out of my mind, and I close my eyes, appreciating the contact more than I thought possible. There are no sparks like before, but there's warmth in her touch that fights off the cold chills I always get when I think about this. So you grew up in the foster system, she guesses. No, I wish I had, but no. Her gaze turns inquisitive, and I hesitantly go on. He didn't physically kill her. I mean, he wasn't the one to give her the pills. But she had psych issues, and she was suicidal. Instead of helping her, my dad drove her off the edge. So you blame him for her death? I nod, of course. She doesn't judge me or tell me I'm wrong, or to change my mind, or try to change my mind. She holds me closer, wrapping her arms around me so tightly that I don't think I could leave if I tried. But, strangely, I don't want to leave. Somehow it feels right to tell her all this. Like a relationship wouldn't be real if she didn't know the truth about me and my past. My vision blurs, and it takes me a moment to realize it's from tears. This is the second time she's made me cry since I met her, but this time I don't feel ashamed. She wipes away one of my tears just like I did for her. Tell me everything, she says. I swallow hard. Both my parents were deaf. I learned to speak English because my mom insisted on it. But as soon as she died, my dad wouldn't let me talk around him. He always resented having a kid who could hear, so he insisted I use sign language. I had to lisp all through elementary school because I didn't speak enough. I got picked on for that, but that didn't even begin to compare to my home life. I squeeze my eyes shut, and Allie brushes her fingers across my cheek and lightly kisses each of my closed eyes. After a long minute, she seems to realize that I don't want to admit anything, so she says it for me. Your dad abused you, like mine. I nod and shudder, hating those words. Yeah, I was young, and yeah, there probably wasn't anything I could do about it. But what if there was? What if I could have stopped it? What if I had tried harder? What if I just wasn't strong enough? Allie sighs, seeming to read my mind. It's not your fault, Jace. But what if it is? He was obviously mentally ill, and I knew it, and I always went and pissed him off anyway. It is your fault. If it is your fault, then everything you told me the other night is a lie. What's that supposed to mean? You told me it wasn't my fault that my dad hit me, So if you're saying that it is your fault that your dad did the same thing, then I must be at fault too. My breath catches and I snap my eyes open, staring right at her. I hurriedly sign, "It's not your fault, Allie. Don't even suggest that. You did nothing wrong." She smiles gently. "Then you didn't do anything wrong either." Tears flow freely down my face and Allie kisses each one away, her lips soft against my skin. I close my eyes, trying to figure out the emotions racing through me. There's anger, of course, because that's always there, but it seems subdued. And there's also something else. Relief. Other people have told me before that I did nothing wrong, but it feels different coming from Allie, knowing that she's been through the same crap, and believes I didn't deserve any of it. She's the first person who really understands. She holds me for a long time, and I let her. We don't talk, and Allie doesn't try to counsel me or give me pity. She just presses me closer to her, letting me absorb her warmth and strength. Eventually, she holds up her hands and sighs. "Can I ask you another question, if you really have to? Is this why you hated me so much at first?" I frown. "I hated the fact that you were definitely reminding me of my past, but I never hated you." She laughs at me and I add, "I'm sorry how I treated you that first. When we first met was wrong, not to mention idiotic. My dad had issues because he was too selfish to take care of his mental illness. It had nothing to do with him being deaf." Allie gets is so not accepting this. She stares at me intently and I can tell she's trying to judge how fragile I am. How many more questions I can take. I brush the back of my hand against her cheek, silently telling her it's okay. Your whole obsession with health, she signs. I mean, all the health foods and exercise and stuff. Is that why? Yeah. My dad had some sort of mental illness, and instead of getting real medication, he used meth to deal with it. He was always cruel, but when he showed up, he was downright vicious. "I'm sorry. You never should have had to go through that." She hesitates and then sighs. "Is he in your life for a animal?" I shudder at the thought and shake my head. "No. He went to prison after he gave me that scar on my chest. There was no way he could explain away an injury like that. And he had already been arrested before on a couple of minor crimes, so he got sentenced to 5 years." Ellie relaxes a little and sighs. "I'm glad he's locked away now." I nod silently, agreeing. Then I add, "I guess the whole health thing is my way of making sure I don't turn into him. My dad never took care of anyone, including himself, so I guess I'm into all the health stuff because of that." She stares at me, her eyes so serious that I have a hard time meeting them. "You do know that it won't work," she murmurs, "don't you?" I freeze, stunned at her words. "What do you mean?" "I mean that eating healthy and running won't ensure you don't turn into your dad." I open my mouth to shout, to tell her she's completely wrong, but all that comes out is a hoarse squeak. I stare at her, longing for her to take back what she said, but she just shakes her head, then she presses a hand against my chest, right over my scar. "This is what will make you sure you never become your dad." At first I think she's talking about my scar, and I'm confused, then I realize her hand is pressed over my heart. Allie places her other hand against me so both her palms are pressed against my chest. Comforting warmth spreads out from her touch, and I close my eyes and cover her hands with my own. "It's okay, Jace," Allie murmurs. "Everything's going to be okay." How many times have I told myself those exact words? Everything's going to be okay. But I've never been able to believe it. At least not until now. Hearing Allie say those words changes them completely, and part of me latches onto them, believing what she says. "Thank you," I whisper. Smile shakily and pull back, so I can sign. "So now that I've sold my guts to you, will you help me finish your song?" She nods, but then hesitates and sighs. "With one condition." I raise an eyebrow. "That wasn't part of our deal." "Too bad." I try to give her an exasperated look, but I don't think I managed. A small smile on her lips is soft and caring, and it's impossible to get upset at her when she looks like that. "What's the condition?" I ask. She leans over and tenderly kisses me on the cheek. It has to end on a happy note. Alright guys, that is the end of chapter 29, ended on page 241. So we'll be starting back on chapter 30, Allie's perspective, on page 242. Thank you guys for joining me, and I realize this was long, so I'm going to let you go now. Bye!